Our mind and body are closely connected for overall health. Breathing is really important for this connection. When we pay attention to how we breathe, it helps us control how we feel in our mind. Taking deep, slow breaths relaxes us and reduces stress. But if we breathe quickly and shallowly, it can make us feel more alert and anxious. In meditation, focusing on your breathing helps you stay in the here and now. When you pay attention to each breath, it keeps you mindful and aware of the present. Breathing in and out smoothly matches how your mind works, making everything feel more balanced and connected. For a long time, people have been curious about how our breathing is connected to our thoughts and feelings. Different cultures have seen breath as a strong link between our body and mind. This story explores how being aware of our breath and practicing breathing in a certain way can affect our mental health, emotions, and how well our brain works. In the heart of ancient Asia, there was a man named Akira. He lived in a busy city with market streets and peaceful temples. Akira was successful in business, spending his days chasing achievements and his night meetings, social obligations to build important connections for his ventures. Despite outward appearances of prosperity, Akira felt empty and stressed. One day, Akira got seriously sick. The illness made his body weak, just like his overloaded mind. Doctors could only provide temporary relief with herbs and ointments. It became clear that his sickness was not just physical, but also in his mind. Feeling desperate, Akira knew he needed something more than the usual treatments. Hearing about ancient wisdom, Akira considered going on a journey to remote mountains where monks supposedly lived in harmony with nature. These monks were said to be masters of their minds and bodies, holding secrets about health that went beyond common understanding, especially related to the breath and its connection to the mind. With nothing to lose, Akira decided to start this journey in the early spring. The journey was tough, taking him through green valleys and challenging paths. Every step away from his old life brought a subtle sense of relief to his heart. As Akira continued his journey, he felt the heavy burden of his old life lifting, making room for excitement about the unknown. After days of traveling alone, he reached a quiet monastery high in the mountains, a peaceful place that blended well with the natural surroundings. The air was fresh, carrying the scent of pine, and the distant sound of chanting added to the tranquility. An older monk welcomed Akira with a calm gaze that seemed to touch his soul. Without saying much, the monk guided him into the heart of the monastery. Surrounded by ancient scrolls and flickering candles, Akira's exploration of the realms of breath and mind began. Over weeks, he learned to sit quietly, focusing on the rhythm of his breath. The monks taught him that each breath was like a cycle of life, a delicate balance of taking in and letting go. He practiced simple yet profound breathing techniques, each one like a dance of air and energy within his body. But this was just the start. The monks explained that true understanding came when breath and mind worked together. They spoke of a state where thoughts and breath became one, a harmony that could unlock deep wells of health and wisdom. As Akira initially doubted, his skepticism gradually faded, replaced by a growing curiosity. He started noticing subtle changes within himself. The illness that had shadowed him every day now seemed to fade away with each passing day. Akira's mind, once filled with worries and ambitions, started finding the moments of peace and clarity. This newfound calm wasn't the end of his journey, but the beginning of something deeper. He faced mysteries that challenged everything he knew about health, life, and what it means to exist. With the changing seasons, Akira's days at the monastery became a mix of routine and eye-opening discoveries. Guided by the monks who protected ancient wisdom, Akira explored Zen teachings that focused on the connection between breath and mind. Even though these spiritual ideas were new to him, Akira immersed himself in a world where every breath led him closer to enlightenment. The monastery became a place where he transformed. Every morning, Akira joined the monks in meditation, sitting quietly in the early light. Tuning into his breathing rhythm, he learned to watch his thoughts like clouds passing through the sky, temporary and separate. Practicing mindfulness helped clear his mind, letting go of stress and anxiety. The most valuable lessons came from the master, an ageless figure with eyes full of timeless wisdom. The master taught Akira the art of Zazen, a deep meditation where breathing became more than just a physical need. It became a connection between the material and the spiritual. Under the guidance of the master, Akira learned to control his breath. He slowed down his breathing to a calm rhythm, like the peaceful heartbeat of the universe. This control gave him clear thinking and a new energy that flowed through his body. The illness that once threatened him now felt like a distant memory, gone because of his inner strength's bright light. The monastery's teachings were not just about healing oneself. The master talked about how all life is connected, and every breath is part of a big cosmic dance. Akira learned about Anapanasati, which means being mindful of breathing. It not only brings harmony to the body and mind, but also connects the individual to the larger flow of existence. As Akira learned more, he started to see beauty in simple things, like a mountain flower, the wind's gentle touch, or the monastery bell's rhythmic sound. He realized that life is a series of moments, and each one is precious. However, despite this calm, a conflict brewed inside Akira. He felt torn between his newfound peace and the life he left behind. His business, status, and old identity called to him. It was a tempting and duty-bound call. The teachings had brought him far, but the last step, the jump from knowledge to wisdom, was a journey he had to take alone. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, casting a beautiful mix of orange and purple colors across the sky, the master spoke to Akira. The path to enlightenment is about fully living in the world, not escaping from it, he said softly in the fading light. Your journey isn't over. Go back to your world, but be a changed person, carrying the peace and understanding you've gained here. With these words, Akira understood his task. The next morning, he would leave the monastery, taking with him the lessons of mindful breathing and mental clarity. Though the road ahead was uncertain, he was no longer the man seeking healing on the mountain. He was now a truth seeker, ready for whatever challenges awaited. As Akira descended the mountain, he thought deeply about the monastery's teachings, the wise master, and the changes within himself. The once intimidating path now felt familiar, guiding him back to a world he knew but saw with fresh eyes. Upon returning, everyone noticed the change in Akira. His family and colleagues were amazed by the calm and peaceful energy he radiated, a stark difference from the anxious man they remembered. The busy city that used to overwhelm him now felt like a distant background noise, a rhythm he no longer hurried to follow. Back in his business role, Akira approached decisions with thoughtful consideration, replacing haste and anxiety with calm deliberation. He practiced ways to stay calm and happy, not just for himself, but for his employees too. Instead of just focusing on making money, he aimed for a balance between success and taking care of people and the environment. But the hardest part for Akira was keeping his inner peace while dealing with life's challenges. Breathing and mindfulness weren't just ways to avoid problems for him. They were tools to face life more deeply. When stress hit, he used mindful breathing to stay present and remind himself of the calm he experienced in the monastery. As time passed, Akira became a positive force in his community. He shared his experiences, encouraging others to find balance and see the connections between their body, mind, and spirit. However, in his quiet moments, Akira thought about the bigger questions his journey raised. Even though the teachings brought him peace, they also led to difficult questions. What really makes us happy? How do we balance material things with spiritual well-being? The more he thought, the more he realized that the journey to enlightenment is ongoing, requiring constant exploration and understanding. One evening, while Akira was walking in a garden, he stopped near a cherry tree with blooming flowers swaying in the gentle breeze. At that moment, he had a deep realization. Life, like the cherry blossoms, is temporary and beautiful. Instead of holding on to it with fear or desire, he learned to fully experience and appreciate it in the present. This insight brought a new sense of freedom to Akira. He understood that his journey wasn't just about healing himself, but also about sharing his wisdom with others. The lessons from his time at the monastery weren't meant to be kept for himself. Instead, they were like seeds of wisdom to be shared with others. As time went on, Akira continued to live by these principles. His life prospered, not just in terms of wealth, but also in purpose and joy. His relationships became stronger, built on mutual respect and understanding. Within himself, he discovered a source of contentment, a peace that lasted through life's various challenges. Over the years, Akira's life became a testament to the transformative power of his journey. He became respected in his community not only for his business skills, but more so for his deep serenity and wisdom. However, he knew that his journey toward enlightenment was ongoing, with the path stretching infinitely ahead. On a calm autumn evening, surrounded by leaves painted in amber and gold, Akira sat in his garden. He thought about the years since he came back from the monastery, the teachings about mindful breathing, and the connection between breath and mind had become really important to him. They helped him navigate through life. His business changed too. It wasn't just about making money. It became a community that cared about the well-being of its members. Akira brought meditation and mindfulness to the workplace. He wanted to create a place where mental health was as important as getting work done. This idea spread to other businesses too. Akira started mentoring people, sharing what he learned about life. He talked at events and wrote about Zen principles, mindful living, and how everything and everyone are connected. His main message was simple but powerful. Being truly healthy and happy means finding balance in your body, mind, and spirit. But maybe the most important thing Akira did was how he treated people every day. He lived by the principles he learned, fully present when talking to others. His responses were kind and well thought out. Just being around him seemed to bring a sense of calm and clarity, reflecting the peace he found within himself. As the sun went down and the garden glowed with a golden light, Akira closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He felt connected to everything around him, the universe, life in all its forms. He realized that every moment was a chance to live well, to appreciate what's happening right now. His experiences had taught him that finding inner peace didn't mean running away from life. Instead, he learned to enjoy simple things like a child's laughter, a beautiful sunset, or the strength of a tree. His journey to heal himself had led to a richer life, living in tune with the world. When the stars appeared in the sky, Akira opened his eyes and smiled, content and wise from the lessons he'd learned. His story showed the wisdom of Zen, reminding us that important journeys start with small steps, or in his case, a single breath. For Akira, life wasn't just about reaching a goal. It was about living in harmony with life itself. His legacy wasn't about what he said or did, but the peace he shared from his enlightened heart. Breathing and our thoughts work hand in hand for overall wellness. When we pay attention to our breathing, it helps our minds and emotions in big ways. Taking slow, deep breaths chills us out and lowers stress. On the flip side, quick, shallow breaths can make us feel more alert and anxious. By understanding and using these connections between our breath and our feelings, we can find balance, stay mindful, and handle challenges better. This blend of ancient breathing techniques and modern science guides us toward a healthier, more connected life. Breathing with awareness is like a connection between our conscious and unconscious sides. By intentionally controlling our breath, we can change how we feel emotionally and mentally. Taking slow, deep breaths turns on the body's relaxation mode, which helps calm stress. So, just paying attention to your breath can be a strong way to ease anxiety, lower stress, and clear your mind. From a spiritual viewpoint, breathing is more than just a bodily function. It's a way to connect with something sacred. Many believe that each breath is a special connection with a universal life force, a divine spirit. With every breath, they feel the presence of something greater, reaching beyond the boundaries of the body and connecting to an endless source of spiritual energy. If you found this helpful, Please give us a thumbs up to help us reach more people seeking ancient wisdom. If you're new here, subscribe and click the notification bell for more lessons on ancient wisdom. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video. To watch more videos, choose one of the videos that will appear on your screen now.